Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Invitation to Puzzles, where we have restored the power to the lab. And so we are now going to work on the laboratory today here in our Super Sudokoid adventure. If you want to get caught up with the Super Sudokoid adventure, there is a link down in the description. And as well, if you prefer, whenever we do the boss puzzles, you can do those directly, and we can just give you a link directly to those. Okay, so last time we unlocked this thermo. I should say, by the way, of course, you're welcome to just watch me fuss through this. Or if you want to just check in when you get stuck, that's totally fine as well. All right, so we've got this thermo that we can now fill in. So these numbers are going to go in order. So that's going to be a 2, a 5, and a 7. Okay, so now we've got an arrow here that has 3 consecutive numbers, none of which are 1, and yet sum to a single-digit number. So this has got to be 2, 3, 4 is the only way that's going to work. So the 3 is going to be in the middle. With the 2, 4 on the outside, I don't know what order they're going to go in, but I do know that those are going to sum to 9. Does mean that one of these is going to be 1. I can say, just to do a little bit of Sudoku, there's an 8 vertically over here, so that's going to be a 7 and an 8. Oh, there's going to be a 7 horizontally here. Is it really possible that this is a 7? The arrow would have to do something very strange. No, it's just not possible, because if this were a 7, then this would need to be a 1 or a 2. It could only be a 1. Now the total is 8. So if there's a circle there, it's an 8, and that's a problem. And if there's a line there, then we now have a number that's too big. So in fact, the 7 goes there. Okay, so what are these 4 numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and we're certainly not putting the 8 down there. We're definitely putting the 1 down here. Okay, and so 1 and 5 adding to 6 seems plausible. 1 and 6 is not plausible. Oops. Because if these are 1 and 6, again, this number would need to either be the circle or would need to have a number that didn't make the sum more than 10. But neither of those is possible, because this number would have to be at least 3, because it would be looking at a 1 and a 2. So in fact, these are 1, 5. So these are 6, 8. Now, in principle, we could do 1, 3, 5. The problem with doing 1, 3, 5, if we continue this over and this isn't the circle, is that then the total is 9, and I can't put a 9 anywhere the arrow could connect to unless it goes off the grid, which I guess technically we've seen clues that do, but I'm going to assume it's probably not what they want me to assume is happening, so I'm going to guess that's a 6. Okay, yeah, I think technically that was cheating slightly, but I'm guessing it was the cheating I was supposed to do. I think that was probably just slightly sloppy on the Sutter's part, but I could be wrong. Let me know if there was some way I could have figured that out without assuming that this 9 didn't go off the grid. I guess I was sort of even using that in the logic up until then. I realize. Let's see. These are a 3 and a 4 over here. Oh, let's see. I guess I know how this works. I haven't screwed up anything, right? Yeah. These are 2, 3, and 5. So that better be the 5 with a 2, 3 along there. So now there's a 2 along one of these thermos, and it's definitely along this one. And so that 2 is there, actually, if you look at where the 2 needs to go in column 1, given that it's not going along here. And now, oh, and that too, I should say. And now the 1 needs to go there. So this dot doesn't have a 2 on it or a 6. It's either got a 4 or an 8. I don't have a fantastic sense of what I'm doing with that yet. This number here is at least a 7, because if I just look at it, it's larger than 3, 4. So it's at least a 5, but it's not a 5, and it's not a 6, so this is at least a 7. So this is only a 7, 8, and this is only an 8, 9. Okay, so... Oh, what are these numbers? Maybe I should write in these numbers and these numbers. That's probably a good idea. 2, 3. Okay, so these are 4, 6. And these are 7, 8, 9. So that actually gives me a 7, 8, 9 triple. So now the 6 in this column is here. And this is my other 3, 4. The 3, 4 that is not there. And now we've got a boss puzzle to do. By the way, this sorry, let me clean up this a little bit. So the 6 there makes that a 4 and that a 6. Okay, and so now this dot doesn't have a 2, 4, or 6 on it. So it has an 8 on it. So this is from 7, 8, 9, and that's not an 8. Because one of these is an 8. And that's not an 8 either because of the 8 there. So this, in fact, is the 8. Okay, so I think that's most of our cleanup. So with the power back on, security robots now stalk the corridors. Can you figure out their movement patterns? So reminder, you can do this puzzle if you want, or just watch me do it. Regardless of whether you're enjoying and doing the Super Sudokoid, which I hope you are, or not. But there's a link in the description just to this part, as well as to the Super Sudokoid itself. So let's go ahead and get started here. So we've got circles that give the sum of the digits along the arrows. So I see here that 5 is either 1, 4 or 2, 3. And I see that 4 is always 1, 3. Let's see, this number is not 1, 3, 4, 8, or 9, or 5. Okay, what is this number? I think it could be 2. It's not 1 or 3 because it sees this 1, 3 pair. It's not 4 because of that 4, 5 because of that 5. I think it could be 6. It's not 7 because of that, and it's not 8 or 9 because of that. So this is 2 or 6, or whatever that is worth. I see that this digit is a 9, because you're not allowed to put 9 partway along an arrow. So if I look in this box and I just look at the 2 given 9s, they actually tell me that that digit is a 9. So this is a way to sum to 9 that doesn't use 1, 3, or 4. And so it's can't be 1, 8, 3, 6, or 4, 5. So this is always a 2, 7, as a matter of course. Okay, so this number, in fact, actually, let me just fill in this triple for the rest of the row. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4. We need a 5, a 6, and a 7. And then sorry, not a 7. A 5, a 6, and a 9 is what's left, right? However, neither of these are 9 by given digits. So that's the 9 for the row. Okay, 5 or 6 is going to go with 3 or 4, depending on which of them it is we get. Oh, I should have, by the way, mentioned before, this is a 2-cell sum to 6 that's not 1, 5, so it's 2, 4 is the only other option. So that actually tells me the order of this 3 and this 2. I don't think that's super useful. Trying to decide if that interacted with the possibility that this was a sum to 6, but I don't think it does quite. think there's probably always a 1 along this arrow, but I don't really want to think about that. If this is a 6, then that's a 6. Is a not perhaps especially useful observation. I guess I have two separate proofs that this 8 arrow isn't 2, 6. So it's 1, 7 or 3, 5, I see. And so the point is it's not 3, 5, because if this arrow was 3, 5, this 9 arrow would be 4, 6, which has the serious problem that it does not, in fact, add to 9. So this is 1, 7, which actually clears up that, which clears up that, which makes that a 6. And so now this 6 arrow can't be 2, 4, because it has a 2, 4 looking at it. So it's 1, 5, and we know the order because of that. This cell is a 2, 6. Sorry, it's a 2, 6. Okay, so now this is not... Oh, it's still not 1, 6. It's not 7, 0 either, but I guess that's not that helpful. This circle, if I look at it, it adds to at least 2 plus 3. In fact, actually, this number, if I look at it, just in this row, actually, what I've got left is 6, 7, 8, and 9. If I just clean that up a little bit. Actually, the 9 in this row is actually just placed because it's gotten ruled out of everywhere else by magic. But now this number had better not be an 8, because if it was, it would make the circle have to be a 9. But actually, this can't be a 7 either, because if this were a 7, well, the smallest it could be would be a 2, and this would still want to be a 9. So in fact, this has to be a 6 with a 2 and an 8 is the only way that that's going to not break. 7 and 2. This is a very lovely intro arrow puzzle. Okay. One of these two is 8. Doesn't look super compelling to me. What are these numbers, I guess, is maybe worth writing in? These are 3, 4, and 7? I don't think I know anything about any of those numbers. I now know that this is not... Oh, I guess I already knew that this was a 2, 7. This has always been either 3, 6 or 4, 5. And that one's not a 6, so that one's not a 3, but that doesn't seem very interesting. Those two is a 6. Oh, this 2, 6 pair looks up at this digit, making it a 4 and that a 2, which now means that this is 3, 4, because it's no longer able to be 2, 5. Let me write the right digits there. So these are a pair. They're not 1, 2, 3, 4. They are 5, which goes up there. 7, 8, and a 9 that goes there. Do I have almost all of the 9s in the grid? Yes, but not in a way that lets me get all of them. Okay, good to know. 5 in this box is now just here. So I've got only a 1, a 3, and a 7 left to place in this box. And this one apparently can't be 3 or 7, so it's a 1. Those are a 3, 7 pair. So that means I know these two as a pair are 8 and 9. And these as a triple are 1, 2, and 6. Noted. Oh, actually, I can give the same argument with the 8s and the 9s down here that I gave over here. I could have done this right from the very beginning. This is not 1, 7. So, well, it's not exactly the same argument, I realize. So I'm basically arguing this is either 3, 5 or 2, 6. But I'm arguing it's not 3, 5, because if it were 3, 5, now this would be a 4, 6, 9 arrow, and 4 plus 6 isn't 9, it's 10. So this is not 3, 5. Same idea of if you know your 9 arrow is 4, 5, or 3, 6. You cannot then use both a 3 and a 5 elsewhere in the box. Okay, so that makes that a 6 and a 2, which then makes that a 1. And now this is 4, 5 because it's not 3, 6 anymore. That 4, 5 looks over there, so that is a 3 and that's a 4. That 2 finally resolves that these are 6s, and that's a 2. Okay, there's now no longer... Oh, I guess I already knew there wasn't a 2 on there. Never mind. Yeah, there's a 6 in this box, and it's placed. It's there. There's a 1 in the box, and it's up there. Do I know what this digit is? It seems to be a 3, 4, or 7 by the row. And seems to only be able to be a 4 out of all of those. Or alternatively, if you like, this is a 3, 4, 7 triple that rules 4 out of all of these, and therefore that's a 4. Whichever way you like. These are therefore 1, 8, and 9. So that is the 1. These are the 8, 9. That puts a vertical 1 over here. Sort of feels like I'm supposed to think about what can possibly be going on down here, doesn't it? So let's see. Left in this box, we've got a 1, 3, 4, 5, and an 8. Okay, so this is not 1, 4, or 5. It's also not an 8, because if this were an 8, the circle would need to be at least 9, and it can't be. So in fact, actually, once I do all of that, I realize that this digit has to be a 3. And we're adding to 4 or 8. And wouldn't you know it, we're adding to 4 or 8 with a 1 or a 5, which happen to be the numbers that will make this work regardless. So those aren't 3. That one's not 8. Okay, that one's not 3. Okay, well, that was more disappointing than I would have hoped for. What about these two? Oh, I can just place the 2 in this box, because there's a 2 looking over down here, some 2s there, so this is just a 2. Okay, so this box, what does it have left? 3, 5. Oh, so the 3 is placed, is what you're telling me. Yeah, the 3 is placed. Let's do that. Okay, so now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are 5, 7, and 8. And that apparently is uniquely of those a 5, which makes that a 1 and a 4, a 7 and a 1, 8 and 7, 5 and 8, 7, 4, 5, 3, 4, 9, 8, 3, 7. Okay, and hopefully we can figure it out from there. Okay, so this column, we seem to need a 2 and a 2 and an 8. This one we seem to need a 3 and a 6. And here we seem to need a 1 and a 5. No, not a 1 and a 5. 1 and a 7. Okay, here we need a 3 and a 4. And that finally does it, because now we get the 3 there, the 4 there, which does the 6 there and the 3 there. It does the 2 there and the 6 there. It does the 8 there and the 2 there, the 9 there and the 8 there. And now these are, one of them is a 1, and the other is the useful one. It's a 5. So we do that order. And now these are a 7 and a 9 in that order. Very lovely, again, intro arrow puzzle there for you. This has been a very nice collection of puzzles that has mostly been, I think, fairly approachable, with a few slightly twisted tricks. Okay, so you hide under a box and ride a conveyor belt to avoid detection. Your search ends with a sinking feeling. There is no doubt that space pirates have been here. In fact, you find a dropped note. detailing the latest security routine. You're pretty sure you could infiltrate the base of operations using this as a guide. Obtained the secret document. Now go back to the main puzzle and enter a 1. Okay, in the boss cell, that was this one. So there's a 1. We have discovered fortress rules, and we've got to sort of try and finish up this grid real quick. So the 1 goes there. What are the fortress rules, by the way? Oh, anti-knight and anti-king rules apply to the fortress. Okay, well, this is not the fortress. So we don't have to worry about that. Let's see. That is a 7-9 pair. Oh, this 1 looks down and actually gives me a 5 and a 1 over there. Let's see. This row. We need a 2, a 4, 7, and 9. Why is the 9 button not working? Why did that happen? Hello? That was weird. There we go. 2, 4, 7, and 9. Something weird is going on. That's not a 2. Okay, this is not a 7 or a 9. Hello? Okay, well, we're going to call this the last. Let me just refresh and see if that makes everything better. Okay, who knows? Anyway, that's a 2-4. Okay, that feels much better. That's a 2-4 pair, so that makes that a 7. Means that's not a 7. That's not a 7. These are as a pair. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 5 and 6. So we can fill that in. Everything's still good, right? Let's see, this row, we still need a 3. Hopefully not an unlock issue. 3, 5, 8 is what's left over here. This one's not a 5. That might be the end of my story about 5s. And these digits... Okay, why is hitting 3 suddenly causing weird things to happen? That is very strange. Yeah, suddenly hitting the number 3 specifically is causing issues. Really not a numlock issue? Okay, now it's suddenly working as long as... Okay, so these numbers... 2, 3, 4, 7, and 9. Okay, this one's not 7 or 9, so that's a 3, 4 pair. So this one is 7 or 9. And it's not a 7, so it's a 9. Makes that a 7. Makes that not a 9. That 3 has made that an 8. Which makes these a 3, 5, which makes that a 4. Makes that a 3. That is a 9. Okay, everything's still okay, right? Yeah, somehow. Oh boy, how on earth did this happen? What a mess. Okay, well, we'll finish this video and call that good. That 6 looks over and sees that 8, which sees that 6. That 8 sees that that is a 7. Not super useful. I don't see how we're ever disentangling these 2s and 4s, but maybe we can. Oh, yeah, I see how we're doing it, because we can... yes, that 4 sees that cell. I wonder how long that's been there. No comments. No, please comment. You can tell me how long it's been there. I can take it. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops. Now I've definitely screwed it up. Oh, because 6 is not the other digit that's left in this row. It's 2. 2 is the other digit that's missing in this row. 3, 2, 5, 3. These are 8, 9, and 5, I believe. That 5 sees down and says that's not a 5, so that is. That 7 says that's a 9, an 8, and a 7. That 8 sees down there. It's a 9 and an 8. That 3 sees down there and says that's a 4 and a 3. Okay, so that is going to be it for today's puzzle. Minor technical issues aside. Yeah, we still have this area where some stuff is going on, and then we have defeated the boss of this grid, but this grid is not quite done, although it almost is. So we'll be back soon, fear not, with more Super Sudokoid. So let me know in the comments how you're getting on with Super Sudokoid. I'm really enjoying it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye for now.